Happy Monday, happy Balanced Millennial Monday, y'all. Sorry I am late. Had to get the child to bed and do the mom thing. Let me get TikTok up. All right. So as promised, y'all, we are going into a balanced pathway planning session today, y'all. I got all my things that I need to do this. If you are joining me live, you need to have a journal, or if you're watching this replay later, make sure you have a journal, pen, paper, pen, whatever you like to use. And make sure you have that out with you. I thought I had a sticky note. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this. Oh, it's right here. So make sure you got your journal, make sure you got your pen, make sure you got your notebook, whatever you're going to be writing in today. Because remember, we are doing the balanced pathway planning. And I am super excited to walk y'all through this because it's like the difference between having a productive day and doing the same shit every day for the rest of your life that ain't been productive. So again, make sure you got your pen, your paper, your pencil, whatever you want to write with, your iPad. I prefer pen and paper, but I know that's very old school of me. So make sure you have something to write with. And I'm going to give everybody one more minute. One more minute to join. And I hope y'all are having a pretty good week. It's warming up. If you are in Georgia, if you're in other places, drop what state or city you in. Make sure you have your pen, your paper, your pencil. Because we are going to get into it. We're going to get right into it. And I'm going to try to shorten it. We'll condense it. I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible because I don't want y'all on here all night because the balanced pathway planning session is something I do with clients. I do it for an hour. So you can purchase like the 1 hour session, but we're not going to take an hour today. I'm trying to condense this down to like 20, 25 minutes. So again, make sure you got your pen, your paper, your journal. All right, let's get started. So I am very, very big on having a calm nervous system, on having a relaxed nervous system, and having a regulated nervous system. So we're going to start with a quick breath work just to bring you to this present moment and make sure that you are able to really hone in on what needs your attention today, right now, in this moment. So real quick, I want you to drop your shoulders. Make sure you drop them shoulders. A lot of times we're walking around with our shoulders really tight, really tense, really close to our ears. Get them shoulders as far from your ears as possible. After you drop your shoulders, I want you to stretch your jaw out. Open wide. Big smile. Big smile. Stretch out that jaw because again, throughout the day, you're clenching your teeth. You're grinding your teeth throughout the day. You want to relax that muscle. Let that muscle relax. Let that muscle relax. Let your eyebrows down. Relax your eyebrows. A lot of times we are doing this all day, or doing this all day, or doing this all day. Let your eyebrows relax. Let your eyebrows relax. You want to get all of that energy from the day out of these spaces. You want to get them out your shoulders, out of your jaw, out of your eyebrows. And then let's take a deep breath in. And I want you to hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And then one more time. Inhale. And then take in one more breath of air. And release. Now, before I do any work with clients, I always like to make sure that I am centered, I am grounded, I am in the present moment so that way I can hear clearly, I can see clearly, I can think clearly. So I feel the same way. And anytime you're doing some kind of work with me, you want to make sure that you're grounded first. You want to plant your feet. You want to make sure you are stable, you are supported, you are firm. And then let's get into it. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do in a balanced pathway planning session. So again, a balanced pathway planning session is a session that I do with clients, and it's an hour-long session. And in that session, basically what we're going to do is we're going to get all of that mental clutter out of your head. We're going to get it down on paper, and you're going to organize it. And from that organization, you're going to create a plan of action that you're going to take as soon as you leave tomorrow morning, but within the next day or two, you're going to do a plan of action that you're going to use almost immediately. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is a brain dump. So with a brain dump, it's literally about quiet and centering and making sure that whatever's on your mind just comes out. So it doesn't have to be anything specific, doesn't have to be a specific topic, doesn't have to be anything special. It's just whatever's on your mind, write it down. And you're going to write down all of the things. So everything, if it's childcare, if it's your job, if it's a roommate, if it's romance, like whatever is on your mind right now, go ahead and write that down. It doesn't matter how big or small you may think it is. You may be like, oh, I need to get trash bags for the kitchen. Write it down. Whatever is on your mind, write it down. Whatever it is. Whatever's weighing on your spirit, whatever keeps coming to your attention, write it down. And sometimes some people are like, once you ask a question like that, they're like, well, now I'm not thinking about nothing. So if you are like that and your mind kind of goes blank once you actually start doing the brain dump and you actually start writing everything down, then it's always okay to like put that to the side and then come back to it throughout your day. Because sometimes a brain dump can't be done right there in that session. And if that's the case, then that's what I always advise a client to do, is to do the brain dump. And then come back to actually do the work from the brain dump, because the brain dump is going to be very, very helpful later on in the process. So you want to do that brain dump. You want to write everything down. I'm saying everything, like everything that comes to your mind, like a bill that's due, a text message you need to respond to, an email you need to be responding to, an appointment you need to make. Write down everything that's been on your mind. So after you write down everything that's been on your mind, the next thing we're going to do is I want you to put that to the side. Put that to the side. Put that to the side. We're going to come back to that later. Now what I want you to do is I want you to think about the things that are important to you. Not the things that are important to your parents, not the things that are important to your friends, not the things that are important to your boss, to your cousin, to your partner, to your kids. What's important to you? Family could be important to you. Career could be important to you. Respect could be important to you. What are some values? What are some things that are just very, very important to you? Stability, security, all these things could be important to you. So just make a list of them. Just make a list. Just drop a bunch of them. What are some things that are important to you? I have a client where spirituality is very important to her. I have another client where peace is very important to her. Responsibility is very important to her. So, what are some things that are very important to you? Honesty could be one of them. And if you're having a hard time thinking of your own list, Google real quick a list of core values, and you'll get a long list, and then you can pick from those. Now, after you have created and put together this long list of core values, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to choose your top 10. So go in and choose your top 10. What 10 core values stick out to you more than any of the other ones? What 10 core values stick out to you more than any of the other ones? Now, after you choose 10 core values, and if you're watching the replay of this, just pause. Like, if you're not ready to move on to the next step, pause and then come back to it. But after you choose 10, I want you to bring that list down to 5. So out of those 10 that you chose, what are your top 5 from that list? What are your top 5 from that list? And I know this may seem difficult to do. It can sometimes seem very, very hard to really hone in and really get real specific about what's important to you, because a lot of times you're living your life as if everything is important to you, as if every task is equally important. And by the end of this, I want you to have a clear understanding that that's not the case. That is not the case. So bring that down to 5. Bring it down to 5. And then after you bring it down to 5, bring it down to 3. Bring it down to 3. Bring it down to your top 3 core values. Out of that full list that you made of however many core values you added, bring it down to 3. What are your top 3? What's most important to you? What are the top 3 things that are important to you? Now, the reason why I do this exercise after the brain dump is because the brain dump is to help you clear your mind before you start deciding things. Because a lot of times y'all are making decisions with a cluttered mind. When you make a decision with a cluttered mind, you're out of alignment. You're not making aligned decisions. You are rushing things. You're doing things that can be done later. You're not prioritizing the right task. You're just like doing whatever you think makes the most sense right now. And when you're operating from a cluttered mental system, from a dysregulated nervous system, a lot of those choices are just going to make it harder for you to get stuff done later on. So once you have your top 3 core values, and once you have your top 3, somebody drop your top 3 in the chat. What are your top 3 core values? Drop your top 3 core values in the chat. What are they? What are your top 3 core values? What 3 things are the most important to you? Like, you have all these things, doesn't matter unless I have these 3. All right, so now that you have your top 3 core values, and we've done the brain dump, and you have all of these things that was in your head now on paper in front of you, what I want you to do is I want you to start putting the things that were in your brain dump under a core value. So now you're going to organize it, you're going to categorize it. So I want you to put the things from your brain dump under a core value. Now, if something does not fit under any of those core values, then do not add it. So don't try to make it make sense. Don't get all logical about this. Don't make it, this tedious task. I want you to go ahead. Thank you, Millie. I want you to go ahead and take the things you put in the brain dump and put them under a core value. Again, if it does not fit, I was gonna make an OJ joke, but I'm gonna let that go. But if it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. Don't make it fit. Let that one sit off to the side. Only take the ones that fit and place them under a core value. So again, once you have identified your top core values, go back to the brain dump and place those core values place those items from the brain dump under a core value. Again, if it does not fit, do not make it. If it does not fit, do not make it. If it is not fit, do not make it. All right, now that you have, again, if you are watching this live and you need me to slow down, please just comment pause and I will pause for you. If you are watching, if you're going to watch the recording later, just pause and then come back to it once you have finished that step. All right, so now we did a brain dump. We've cleared our mind of the mental clutter. We've created some mental space. We can think clearly now. We can pay attention now. We can focus on what's important now. So we've done that. We've identified our top 3 core values. We've identified what matters most to us. And now we've also added the items from the brain dump up under the core values. Again, if it does not fit, do not add it under a core value. You want to only add things from the brain dump that align with your top 3 core values. Okay. All right, so now that you have organized and categorized. Hey, Erica. You have organized and categorized your brain dump. You have put them under the core values. You put them under the things that make the most sense to you, that matter to you the most, that give you the most energy, that make you feel alive, that make you feel like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to realistically pick one of those core values. Pick one of those core values. Which one of those core values can you focus on tomorrow? Like, which one realistically can you focus on tomorrow? So, because now you have 3 core values and you have your brain dump pieces under each core value. So which one of those core values can you put your energy and attention into tomorrow? Which one makes the most sense? Pick one. Yes, Rich.
Drink some water.
Okay. Pick one core value. So after you pick that one core value, what you want to do is you want to start creating, and I mean right now in real time, you want to create a routine for tomorrow, or you want to create a routine for tomorrow. And instead of trying to completely remove certain behavior, certain tasks, focus on what you can replace. So instead of trying to focus on removing something like, oh, I'm not drinking coffee tomorrow morning because that doesn't allow my core value, focus on replacing that thing in your routine. So let's say if your core value is peace, right? Your core value is peace. The things that you put under peace might have been self-care. So that means tomorrow you need to be planning a routine that takes something out of your schedule and replaces it with self-care. So even if that means that maybe you have planned to cook dinner, instead of you cooking dinner, maybe you're going to order dinner. Maybe you're going to take yourself out on a date. Maybe you're going to go out with a friend. Replace that with a self-care moment. And that's the routine you're going to create for yourself tomorrow. And that's the process you're going to go you're going to go through every single time you do this process. So every single time you need to get more balanced, be more aligned, focus more on what's important. You're going to go through this process. You're going to meditate. You're going to ground yourself. You're going to center yourself. You're going to clear out stagnant energy. You're going to release the tightness from your body so you can be open and receptive to new routines, new habits, new things. You are going to do a brain dump. You're going to do a brain dump. You are going to take everything that's been on your mind. You need trash bags at home. You need batteries. You need light bulbs. You need to go get gas. You need to wash your car. You got to pay this bill. You got to send this text message back. You got to call Call this mechanic. Like, you have all these things on your mind that are constantly like nagging at you. Write it down, because what you're going to realize is the things that are at the front of your mind are not even the most important things. And so the reason why you're not getting the most important things done is because you're hyper focused on the things that aren't a priority. You're hyper focused on them. And because you're hyper focused on the things that aren't a priority, you feeling overwhelmed already, and you're not getting things done. So you want to make sure you do that brain dump, because that's going to help you organize. That's the next step. After you do that brain dump, you're going to organize. You're going to identify, because now that you already know your core values, you know your top 3 core values, you're going to focus on aligning your lifestyle, aligning your actions, aligning your behaviors with those core values. Because if you're saying that peace is a core value for you, but you constantly arguing with people on social media, or you're constantly engaging in negative conversations, or you're constantly having negative self-talk with yourself, then that's going to be a misalignment. You want to start replacing those behaviors with behaviors that align with your core value. So what that looks like is redirecting the conversation when things get negative, or not having it at all. What that looks like is taking the time to take deep breaths when you feel yourself getting super frustrated, taking the time to take deep breaths when you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, so that way you can keep yourself in that peace state. A lot of people aren't able to keep themselves in the states they want to be in because they don't know where they want to be. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know how they want to feel. They don't know how a healthy nervous system feels. And that is what I am here for. I'm definitely here to help you get a healthy nervous system. So brain dump, core again, your core values change for you because you just had a hard week. It might have been a hard month, whatever the case may be. So self-care may have been a priority for you for this week, but then next week there's a different core value. There's something else that's like at the top of your mind. So core values are not like this set in stone. We can only do it this way for the rest of my life. Core values is just to help you focus. It's just to help you focus. So if you can set yourself up where you're knocking out 3 core values in a week or in 2 weeks, and you're doing that every couple weeks, 2-3 times a month, you're setting yourself up to be on a more balanced pathway. Hence, the reason why this is called a balanced pathway planning session. So if you are a millennial and you feel like you are always out of balance, you're always missing things, having FOMO, feeling like time is just flying by and you're just not getting the things done that you need to get done, then I am the coach for you. My name is Key. I am the conscious living coach, and I love to guide millennials into a balanced lifestyle and out of survival mode. So thank you to everyone that joined me today. Again, if you're watching this video as a replay, pause at any time you need, rewatch it, come back and watch this video every single time you need a reminder of what steps to take to create more balance. If you would like to book a balanced pathway planning session with me, please DM me, message me, comment on this post, whatever you're most comfortable with, and I can definitely get you more information so we can set up a call to see if it's the best route for you. Again, this is another Balanced Millennial Monday with Key. Thank y'all for joining me. Again, if you would like to book a session, DM me. I got you. Love to help. Y'all have a great week.